So this is the last thing for this section. I know it's been really long, and thank you for bearing with me and following all the way through. But there's just two short questions about this on your homework, but I want to make sure you see it. So the margin of error, it essentially sets bounds on the size of the likely error. So it is possible to have errors within our statistics, and so we want to make sure that our errors are as small as possible. We want to make sure we set bounds to not allow big errors to happen. So the definition of margin of error is if a statistic is obtained from a random sample of size n, there is a 95% probability that it lies within 1 over the square root of n times 100% of the true population percent, where plus or minus that value is called the margin of error. We're going to do a quick example. So we have a random sample of 1,000 US adults. 46% of those questions said that they dread public speaking. If the margin of error is 3.2%, write a statement about the percentage of adults in the US population who dread public speaking. So our N value is equal to 1,000. So essentially here, they're telling us what the margin of error is. They're saying it's 3.2%. Okay, so essentially, margin of error of 3.2%, 46% of 1,000 US adults said that they dread public speaking. I show the work here to show how you get this 3.2%. So when we get that plus or minus 0.0316, that is approximately as a percentage 3.16%. If you round to the nearest tenth of a percent, that's going to be 3.2%. So we can actually find the margin of error. We can also interpret the margin of error. In your question, you're going to be asked to do both. You're going to be asked to find margin of error, and you're going to be asked to interpret it and write a statement about it. So essentially what we can say is we can take our percentage that were provided and we can plus or minus the 3.2% to that. So to get the lower limit, you would subtract. So that's going to be 42.8%. And then that upper limit would be added. So we get 49.2%. So once we've used that margin of error to find our upper and lower limit for our percentages, we can say, because we're using a 95% confidence level, that's based on our definition of margin of error, we can say with 95% confidence that the percentage of the adult population who dread public speaking is between 42.8% and 49.2%. So we're able to make an inference with very high probability of being accurate. 95% is really high, to say that the percentage of people who dread public speaking would lie between these two values. And so margin of error is really cool. You can also, sometimes it's called a confidence interval that you can calculate, but right now we're just looking at it in terms of margin of error. So super short compared to the 30-minute video. This one was a short few minute video. There are tons more problems that we did not go over. I recommend you look through them. There's some extension questions that you might want to look through. If you have any questions, please be sure to ask me. Thank you.